Welcome to Mountain Ridge Country Club in West Caldwell, New Jersey, home to this year's Mizuho Americas Open on the LPGA Tour. The final round is well underway, and soon we'll be crowning a champion on Mother's Day. At what point in this final round, Thailand's Jeenothitikul had a 4-shot lead, but her good friend, ruoningyin, was making a big move on the front nine. This off the tee at the par 3 7th, leading to an eventual birdie. It would be her third in a row, and she would climb within 2 of Thitikul's lead. Then, at the par 5/8, she collects birdie number 4 in a row and moves to 11 under, 1 back of Jeeno. So what looked to possibly be a runaway victory is now much more of a close race. As we head live to the 13th and catch up with the contenders for the Mizuho Americas Open. She has been nothing but steady this week. Didn't hold the first round lead, but picked it up and has not relented since. Had a quick start today with a couple of birdies early in the round at 2 and 3. Series of pars since then, no drop shots. Karen Stupples is following this group, and a lot of ground ahead on this putt, Karen.
Oh, there is, and it was a chip that just got away from her. It landed very hard and just released, and was actually quite lucky to stay on the green in the end.
So that is her first drop shot of the day, as she places a mark on that and still has a little bit of work to do. Well, but she is just 2 weeks removed from losing her world #1 ranking to the red-hot Nelly Korda, who's not in the field this week. Jeenothitikul is inching closer to victory number 2 on the season, and perhaps a successful title defense in the making. Jeenothitikul, the second-ranked golfer in the world, and now this for a bogey.
Quite shocking.
Well, she may know who is over her shoulder, and that is her best buddy, her good friend, ruoningyin.
It's her second at the 15th. Yeah, this is a lot closer than it looked just a few holes ago. Doesn't need to hit a poor one here.
That increases your chance of walking away with this title, so we are watching the likes of Dang and a couple of others trying to make this final push on a Sunday. Celineboutier,
Trying to get something to turn around for her. Driving has been a bit poor. Jeeno has an 8-iron out. This hole does play uphill. There's just the slightest of help in this wind right now.
Karen, her ball striking has been superb this week, leading the field in greens and regulation. That previous hole, the 13th, the first green she's missed all day.
Big putt here. This is ruoningyin to tie the lead. It's going to move left to right. Hasn't had the putter working on this back nine yet. Made 4 birdies in a row on the front nine.
Our partnership with the LPGA really embodies these shared values with our purpose-driven tournament that celebrates women and promotes the next generation of talent. Increasing the purse, enhancing the player experience, and hosting a leadership summit for young women are all ways we're making an impact with the Mizuho Americas Open.
One-shot lead for Jeenothitikul, and look at the angle she's taking here, Morgan.
Oh my goodness, Karen. Looks like she's putting completely away from the hole. But this looks pretty darn good. What a wonderful putt. That takes a lot of artistry and creativity.
Well, we will jump ahead to the 18th and take a look at the birdie opportunity here for alexapano. A bit of a struggle in this final round, mostly on her front nine. Currently tied for 26th in the Mizuho Americas Open, and that bid will come up. All great to know, and we've seen her put that mindset to work time and time again. Good solid par putt there at the 18th to wrap up her 2026 edition of the Mizuho. course, was playing much faster, so respectable scores. But now we go to the top of this leaderboard, and Yin with a par putt.
Just to stay at 10 under, yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, such a change in the conditions, Kelly.
Pretty straightforward putt here, Morgan.
And that's just first putt.
We will go to the 16th and catch up with Alisonlee. This to get to 8 under par. Out to the 16th, and ruoningyin set to play.
Feel like at this point needs to take real dead aim, hit one in there tight, and make a birdie at this juncture. Kelly.
That's going to help. That's going to go a long way.
It's just not been quite the conditions and the difficulty that they faced earlier in the week, especially in that second round.
Yeah, it wasn't fun being a walker out there in the second round, was it, Karen, as we watched Boutier?
I can confirm your analysis on that, Tom. It was pretty miserable.
Boutier safely away there, but it's really not been.
Off the tee, little dogleg round to the left. You've got a penalty area, a little stream that runs across the front of the green, about 20 yards short. So if you do get into trouble, you have to think about that if you're trying to go for the green. And that's a great drive.
And then she cooled off dramatically.
You had that opportunity when you come from so far behind. You don't really have much to lose. You put the pressure on, and then suddenly at one point she got to one back and just kind of slowed down. A little bit of a three-putt there. Derailed her on 11, but I've been talking a little bit to her coach, Holton Freeman, especially heading into the week of Chevron. He said, I feel like Ronnie is so close to going on another run. I can feel it. And second place at the Chevron Championship, and then here trying to chase down jeenothitikul. So
Par, and they're all critical on Sunday, Morgan, especially at this part of the stretch.
I mean, we just saw from her first putt the danger of anything beyond the flagstick on a Donald Ross golf course cannot be above the hole.
Oh, that is...
And her performance and why we're seeing her back towards the top of the leaderboard. Always been a wonderful ball striker.
Par putt for hannahgreen, a multiple winner this season, one of only 3 women to be able to claim that honor.
As well.
Thitikul could join him this week and make it 4. Meanwhile, this is a bogey putt now for Yin. And now they are head-to-head, albeit in different groups.
Back over at the 15th, this is the second shot for celineboutier.
And that was from 178. I was acting to that little breeze, and
She's a different coloured grip for each club, so it makes it a lot easier for Karen.
I don't have to wait for a signal from the caddy to let me know what club this is. This is super high, nice little fade on it towards the hole.
The LPGA is here, and you're gonna want to see this. Because we're chasing bombs, getting saucy, throwing darts, stepping out. We're soaring high and going slow-mo. You want drama? Hold your breath. Because this is a new era of the LPGA, and this is where it's at.
Tee at the 17th has been moved up again. It was moved up yesterday, so very reachable this par 5. Gabylopez second. That's me paying attention. Let's go to 16.
And hyejinchoi on the tee, holding steady at 8 under par.
What has happened to celineboutier on this hole, Karen? This for par?
Yeah, her second shot went into the greenside bunker, and she just plopped it out from there to here. She just is really working hard, and this is a very unforgiving golf course.
Mother's Day, of course, is a different day in many countries around the world. For France, it is the 31st of May, the end of this month.
And up the 18th, Hara for a birdie. Erikahara.
I think players will be very much prepared for these greens next year when they arrive on site. They'll be doing lots of practicing on severely sloping.
Well, it's interesting too, Morgan, because Gino hasn't done much to break away today, and others have had their chances to stay close but continue to trip up.
Gino's just been really steady.
They do it very different ways.
I mean, I feel like really needs a nice little friendly rivalry on the LPGA Tour. 2, 3, 4 players contending week in, week out.
You talk about multiple wins, though, Morgan. This young woman's still waiting for...
Well, she's gone with a 48-degree wedge. This whole playing quite short today, just 114. Quite a severely sloped green, so if you can keep it below the hole, that would be ideal.
Dang, who won it last year in the AJGA division, and Tidikun, who won it in the professional division at Liberty National.
It's a tough spot to find yourself, though, if you don't have your game, Morgan, and any good shot like that one gives you an opportunity to have a little bit something out of the round.
Well, as we head up to the 18th, this is a woman who was a very big part of the story early on in the tournament, Morgan. Jennifer Kupcho, but then she struggled midway through.
Yeah, had a bit of a struggle yesterday playing in the final grouping.
And Gabylopez, who's been quite busy, she was an ambassador as the AJGA winner in a modified Stableford scoring format. So a lot going on here, Karen, as Tidikun sizes up this birdie putt.
It is, but if you're playing in this group, you've got your own race that you're trying to control, and stay within your own little bubble and not try and get caught up in what anybody else is doing. This putt's going to break to the right for Gino.
On the tee at the 17th, ruoningyin after that long wait. Pinches in down there. Going with the driver. There is a penalty area that kind of pinches in. And she's just run right through that gap with the second shot. Let's go back to 16.
Let's see if Boutier can connect on this birdie putt. Well, doing it the other way. Curling it in from the right side and up the 18th. What a magnificent round of golf today for Jennybae, trying to match her season low of 66.
Clean card. There have not been many clean cards around this golf course this week.
Up at the 18th, birdie effort on tap here from Jennifer Kupcho. A clean miss. In the middle of this closing stretch, a classy touch as we watch alisonlee in a precarious spot here.
Pretty good effort there from alisonlee. And jennyshin, who I'm sure was playing, Michelle, when you were on tour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun years. These greens are slopey, and that looks like good speed.
Let's head up to the 18th and catch up with the second shot of Gabylopez and Michelle. She was playing virtual host last week in Mexico. I'm sure you can relate to the workload that she's carrying.
Oh, yeah. You know, I think it's always such a fun time when, you know, you have a tournament, whether it's in your hometown. And she's not really thinking about that situation. I feel like she's so level-headed. She's so positive. She's got a great head on her shoulders.
alisonlee, whose young child, just a little more than a year old, said this feels like her first.
But, you know, they're all super moms. They're all someone that, you know, inspires me personally. And it's great to see Alison back out here.
Could make a huge difference in the outcome of this tournament. Let's see what she can do. Steady.
That's not going to hold up, Tom, is it?
Wow. Fine margins there. Now allisencorpuz. This one because you have such great connection to Riviera.
You know, I think these greens were honestly such a good warm-up for me. You know, I think they're both second shot greens. I think the margins on the greens are so small, as you can tell. And big sloping putts. You're going to have a lot of short 4-footers that will break at least 2 cups outside the hole. So, you know, honestly, I thought it was...
Just this long putt, Michelle, to try to get the 3, excuse me.
It's a great birdie to finish. Birdie or par even on 18 is a great score.
Back at the 17th with ruoningyin. Really needs to do something special here.
And up at the 18th, this is the par putt for Gabylopez. In that pack at 8 under par, opting to leave that flag stick in, and works out just fine.
Over the 17th, birdie putt here for Yin. And to your point, Morgan, I mean, look at the 2 9s. She's 5 under par for the day through 8 holes. Since then, 2 over par. So it's been a game of 2 halves. Let's go to 18.
Second shot for jennyshin.
This is looking like it's going to be Jenny's best finish of the season. Doesn't have a top 10 yet.
Yeah. She might be able to afford a driver with the way that she's playing. Now, ruoningyin is for par. That was the hole, though. That was the hole she needed to probably make an eagle.
Second for alisonlee.
Ideally want to keep this just a little bit right of that flag stick, Tom. We've seen how fine the margin is on the left half of this green.
It just doesn't stop.
At least chatting to each other, they're not super trapped inside her own little world when she's been playing. And that's a very well played tee shot there, Morgan.
So he's happy to talk to Karen.
On the tee at the 18th, ruoningyin.
Job number 1, put it in the fairway. That might need to sit down.
We will head up to the green and watch this birdie putt by alisonlee. You know, with the subject of these amateurs in the field, Morgan, she spent 16 weeks as world number 1 in the World Amateur Golf Rankings.
It's allisencorpuz with her 3rd shot at the 17th. Come off that slope there.
And this is jennyshin trying to get a birdie here on the last hole.
It's been a tough putt here. At least one to make. Has so much swing from right to left. Wonderful effort, though.
No doubt. So she will finish up at 6 under for the week. And this is hyejinchoi.
Yeah, 3rd at 17. It is wild when you go in there. If you're a golf aficionado, it's like a treasure chest. Let's see if she can make a birdie. Try and get into a tie for 2nd. Could be very lucrative.
And never moved. Yen now on approach.
One last opportunity to take dead aim here. Looks like a good line, but just a tough hole to make up any ground.
This is to tie the lead here. Emily Zalzman to get to 143 points. This is an important putt for her as she tries to get into a tie for second alongside ruoningyin. On the LPGA Tour, they play for race to the CME Globe points. That all makes a difference come the end of the season. Top 60 get into the CME Group Tour Championship, which is very lucrative, so every putt counts during the year. She commented yesterday that she hasn't played well enough in this event to play with the juniors because they play in the last 24 groups over the weekend, so she was quite happy that she'd played well enough this week to play alongside the AJGA players. Usually you'd think it'd be the other way around.
Oh, you gotta have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Sometimes this game beats you up, Tom, and
see if they made the right decision.
But I'm assuming that they're talking about the same things as Celine did. 214 is the yardage for Gino. Really just got to clear that front bunker. Oh, she didn't. She pitched into the face of it.
We're back with a lengthy birdie effort here from ruoningyin on the home hole, trying to put any amount of pressure she can on her good friend jeenothitikul, who's back in the 17th hole. Need to give it a good run up this hill at the par 4 18th, and that's where you'll find hyejinchoi.
she was set up a little bit right there the whole way. This could be some trouble.
Par putt for Yin in what could be the battle for second place here, holding on to it potentially in solo fashion would go a long way in points and dollars earned.
I think these are a couple big weeks for Roning, being back at the top of the leaderboard, feeling those nerves, the challenge of trying to win. Again, seeing a little bit of what we saw win her major championship just down the road from here at Baltusrol a few years ago.
Back over at 17, this is Boutier with her third.
These players have all been up onto the green and they're just trying to analyse where this ball will pitch, how it will release, and what the likelihood is of leaving themselves the best opportunity to make a putt when the ball's on the green. It's difficult because you have that false front. Hole location looks like it's just tucked right over it. Well, Gino's in the flat of the bunker. You've got that steep slope and false front that she has to negotiate to get up and over. Just play this one out to the right of that flag and let it kick down to the left. Steady. That's pretty good.
As we watch the second now for hyejinchoi.
Just forced to lay up here on the highest part of the lip of that bunker on the right side there. Can't get anything up over that lip and onto the green.
You can make it pretty difficult. Could you imagine tough day on this golf course? In a lot of courses will have a tough day. Can you imagine playing here?
Let's go to 18.
Now, Corpuz on approach. Beautiful angle into this hole.
I haven't seen anybody really left of that flagstick, and that's why it runs up.
The team do north of the border. Now Boutier for birdie.
Slippery one downhill.
no problem at all. Her name to this list, most likely. Let's go to 18.
Third shot up and away here for hyejinchoi. They sure do. All right, this is Corpuz for bogey at the 18th. Letting a couple of shots go here when she's trying to make some ground for those CME glow points. But we'll look forward to seeing when waiting patiently just to win anywhere in the world on the LPGA Tour. A series of runner-up finishes in some of the most prestigious championships as well, including the majors, and good putt by Choi.
But by doing so has 199 to that flag. All uphill, but downwinds now. You've got wind off the right with a bit of help. I think she's going choosing this one so she can go ahead and hit this one full rather than try and finesse that 9. Definitely the right choice there.
Celineboutier next to play in this group.
Got an upslope, uphill all the way to that hole.
She won her major. Normally the last putt will be reserved for the eventual champion, but
A putt like that today, but no surprise, it was from Gino. This is a big putt for Celine. Nice way to finish there with that up and down.
well, with room to spare, this for the win. Yes! Jeenothitikul going out in style at the Mizuho Americas Open, successfully defending her title. Well, just another solid week of golf by Jeenothitikul, 23 years of age. There's her best buddy, ruoningyin, also a 23-year-old.